We're
Okay.
live. Hello, everybody. Happy Thursday. Welcome to another fun live series with me and
Mm.
my friend Joaquina Jackson. So, we're going to talk about intentional gathering because that is your specialty. So,
Mhm.
Joaquina, I will let you introduce yourself if you can tell us kind of who you are, and we'll start with what you do for work. And then I'll ask you, of course, to talk about what you do for fun too. Oh, and what decade of life you're in,
Oh, okay.
please.
So, hi everybody. I'm Joaquina Jackson, and I am the founder and owner of Host and Gather. It's an event management planning company, a new startup in the capital region of New York, and we specialize in intentional, intimate gatherings, which are the small scale micro events. Um, the where they're more customized and personalized for the more grand guest experience, and then it also allows the host to enjoy their event, to be
Mhm.
present. So
Mhm.
mhm.
Everyone hearing this is like, is it too late to hire you for my Christmas party? Is it too late to hire you for the family party?
Oh no, Christmas holiday gatherings go on until January, so it's not too
Oh,
late.
so true. Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Okay. That's really cool. I'm excited to learn more about kind of what that means because as a concept, you hear it and it makes a lot of sense, but I'm excited to get really into that because
Hmm.
that's not something people think about all the time. So, awesome. And then what do you do for fun?
For fun, so I'm a big crafter, or I like to take long walks. So I'm that owner who owns all the Cricut accessories. So I have a
Ooh,
yeah, the Cricut machine, the heat press, all of the things. So I'm constantly making something.
that's really cool. That's really nice. Where do you get your walks in? Do you still do them in the winter?
In the winter, yeah. If it's not around like a local park, I like to walk. Niskuna has like the River Road walkway,
Nice.
so along the Mohawk. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
pretty. That's did
Hmm.
they do a good job plowing the sidewalk and
Oh,
the walkway and stuff? Yeah.
it's always plowed. It's always clear. There's tons of bikers, dog
Nice.
walkers, people just walking. Yeah, it doesn't feel like a workout.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So
Yeah, I
you're
love
just
that you said
walking.
that. I just wrote a post yesterday. I published it yesterday on Substack all about like walking and how to still get our walks in the winter.
Hmm.
And I'm having a little bit of trouble with it, but I'm doing like switching to like the raised track at the Y. But then I
Oh,
get really
yeah,
bored, and like one of the
because it's
reasons I love
inside.
walking is because it's outside and the fresh
It's
air and
outside.
the sunlight is so good for us. But yeah,
Yeah.
okay, well, good. You're inspiring me. Thank you. And you're local to the capital region.
Local to, yep, the three Tri-Cities or the Tri-Cities area, Albany, Schenectady, Troy. So,
Yep.
mhm.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay, so tell us a little bit about like how you got started with this, like how you landed and brought to life this concept of intentional gathering and like actually curating something with so much thought so that both the
Yeah,
host and the guest are having the same amount of enjoyment.
yeah. So I have been in the event planning industry for many, many years. Started out in meetings, and meetings are very templated. We've always done it this way kind of vibe,
Mhm.
theater seating, stage, keynote sessions, concurrent sessions, all those things. And I found
Mhm.
that a lot of the attendees were just attending um, for because it was for work, because meetings are very corporate, or they were attending to for professional development. But then that was all that they were getting. There was no engagement. There was some networking involved, but it wasn't a lot of network. And then if it was networking, it was, throw them in a room, make it a reception, and everybody walks around aimlessly with their drink in hand, right? Passing out business cards. The awkward silences or the awkward conversations. And
Mhm.
so then I got away from that because it got extremely boring. And then I started into like the special events, the more the donor cultivation events and, nonprofit events. And that's where I kind of got my spark to where because I got a little bit more autonomy to plan these types of events, to engage the donors more. And when
Mm,
the donors are engaged or the supporters are engaged, they give a little bit more. They become more involved in the nonprofit or into that mission. And so that's when I said, I need to break out on my own a little bit. So I started freelancing, doing, a couple of here or there. And what I found that people were craving um, more intentionality in the planning and the design of gatherings and events. They want to feel seen, they want to feel heard, and then they also want to attend events where they feel something,
mhm.
so where they're a part of something. So that's how I got started into um, launching, my business.
Amazing. That's so
Hmm.
cool. What a gift.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
So
really, really cool.
it's exciting, because after the events, something even during, I can hear feedback. I can hear, "Oh my gosh, I wouldn't even thought of this. This is really cool." And then I also see the host or my client that I'm working with feel so relaxed that
Mhm.
they're being present with their guests. They're not running around, they're not plating, they're not, staging or any of that stuff because they have me to take care of that stuff, right? So that my client or the host are enjoying themselves more at their event.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, I think some people love hosting, some people don't. Some people do it for work, right? Or like if you're in
Mhm.
any sort of leadership role at your company and they're doing like, whatever, however you may feel about it, like the concept of the host being relaxed and having a good time. I think especially as women, when we host like the family or a birthday party or
Mm.
Thanksgiving or whatever it is, like, there's a lot of martyrdom there and it doesn't have to be. And like maybe you can't afford somebody to help you, but like we can use the concepts,
Right.
right?
So, yeah, that's where I also come in. If you can't afford a planner or, a coordinator, a data coordinator, I create your whole event plan to where you can execute it
Mhm.
flawlessly, right? And then you're
Yep.
still enjoying yourself. So that's,
Yeah.
twofold, twofold.
Yeah.
Because I think that's
Absolutely.
where, yeah, a lot of hosts kind of get hung up in is, they're planning, or they're only focused on the design or decor. And it's like, no, there's intentionality in all of this. Like, just don't set your room or your environment. Like, what are you going to do with your guest? Right?
Hmm.
What do you want them to leave with?
Hmm.
So there's a lot more into it than just, your linen and your centerpieces.
Right. Right. Right.
Mhm,
Like how you
mhm,
want someone
mhm.
to feel is probably the
Feel
starting
while
point
they're
in the
there.
planning process, right?
Exactly. That's number 1 for me. That's the strategy. How do you want your guests to feel? How do you want your attendees to feel while they're
Hmm.
here with you? Mhm.
Hmm. So I attended an event of yours a couple weeks ago. And if you're comfortable, would you be comfortable sharing a little bit behind the scenes?
Sure, sure. Yeah.
Okay. So this one's a good example because I was there, right? I got to experience it. And it
Yes.
really was a very special and very unique event. So I know what
Mhm.
I felt. I know what I witnessed in the room. It was small and intimate. Was there maybe like 8, 10 people, including the hosts?
About
Yeah.
10
Okay.
people. Mhm.
So like what was the initial how did the conversation start? Like what was the initial this is how we want people to feel, this is how we want people to experience for that one, for example?
So that one, because it was, Thanksgiving time gathering, I mean, this is gathering season. So,
Mhm.
of course, all of these little events are happening now. But the host wanted to incorporate her love of coffee, but then
Mhm.
also kind of a gratitude event at the same time. So we found this little, coffee shop that's in a historical building. And I explained to her, I said, you don't need to have like 30 people. I was like, you can be more impactful with a small group where you can touch every guest that you have. You can speak to every guest that is there and they can leave with something. So that's how the concept came about. And I just kind of set the room, helped her with her timeline, the agenda, and I said, don't overpack it. Leave room for the connection.
Mhm.
Leave room for, the engagement to set in. Because sometimes I see a lot of events are like, "Oh, yeah, we have engaging, moments and these event moments," and then they have them and then they're rushed. So there's
Mhm.
no time set for, um, their attendees or guests to really actually feel engaged. So,
Mhm.
yeah,
It's like the power of the pause, right? Like, we're
it's
bad at, like, blank space, but
right.
the only way we're gonna get better is maybe if someone curates it for us, and then we
Mhm,
have to live
mhm.
in that blank space, and then what happens? Connection.
The connection. The
Right. It's not
connection.
actually
Right,
blank, but, like, in our over scheduled, over agenda, like, over everything culture, that
right.
blank space,
Mhm.
everybody needs it, and we slip in and find connection, but it was actually done intentionally.
Intentionally, right? So that's the whole that's what she because the agenda was could have been jam-packed, and I'm like, "No, let's be a little bit more lax and let, people connect. Let them connect to what the whole event is about, gratitude, roots, and, your growth," right? And with I believe there was all entrepreneurs in there, so and then, um, be grateful and bring it back to your business.
Mhm. Yeah, that's actually something so cool that I don't think I mean, of course, like, who you market it to or, like, who you tell it to, and, like, it's gonna bias towards whomever the networks are, right? Like,
Mhm, mhm,
so you and the 2 hosts, put this event out there, right? And the thing I think you couldn't have controlled, you know, literally was who showed up. But
right.
that was one of the coolest parts about that. The people that were there that just happened to be there, it was so diverse, like different ages, different industries, different experiences, different seasons of life. Like sometimes I go to events and I'm like, everyone here and I are like, we're super on the same page. And that's really cool, right? Like we're all in the
Mhm,
same thing, we're all doing the same thing. And like that's really important. But the thing about this event is everyone was quite different, like everybody has something in common. We're always more alike than we are different. But everyone was kind of up to something different and lived in different spots around the capital region, but it felt so cozy, it felt so comfortable, it felt so warm. So, besides yourself and the 2 hosts just having really good like, host energy, warm energy, how did you pull that piece off?
I think it came down to the size. I really feel like
Mm,
it came down to the size, like, small events your event does not need to be large to have grand impact, right? I always say, events now, the trend I don't even wanna call it a trend, but I think because it's moving that way, um, the smaller the number, the bigger the impact. Like, small events are big, just as big as the large events, but I feel like the smaller events are more personable.
mhm,
Um, eh, they're intentionally more engaging, and, it's just the overall feeling.
yeah,
Everybody feels welcome. The host got to literally hug each one of her attendees. She got
yep,
to speak personably, did one-on-one conversations with her attendees. So,
mhm,
yeah.
mhm.
Yeah.
And so when you go to an event like this and you
Mhm.
leave, what are those positive impacts that you're walking away with? Like, obviously, you're like, oh, that felt nice, or like, but like below the surface, we all know there's always something going on. Like the benefit of being, because what do you feel when you're there? What do you walk away with?
Mm,
Feeling in community, feeling
mhm.
supported, feeling kinship, feeling just
That's
present
what
with
it
people, right? So, like,
yeah.
how does that impact us?
So that's what it comes down to. It's like building community, right?
Yeah.
And I don't mean community in the sense of like, 'tis the season, it's a giveaway or anything like that. All of us need community. So
Yeah.
what this host is doing is building community around her business, but then also building community for her guests and attendees.
Right.
Because again, the attendees were that diverse, but now they have a bigger circle of that is more diverse. And I mean diverse in, like stage and life, the age, businesses, that sort of thing. So we all crave community. So
Mhm.
community is broader than what most people think. Just like I feel like, events, it's broader than these 250 people events. The small
Mhm.
events are coming in, and I think they're coming with a force, just because of people wanting to that feeling and that benefit afterwards. So I say the benefit is it's still talking about it after the event is done. We made connections,
Mhm.
with, a fashion photographer, you know what I mean? We
Yeah.
met a nurse practitioner. Um, I met you, so
Yeah.
um, it's building that community. We all
Yeah.
crave community. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's good.
I,
It's and I yeah. I think it's good now too for this where we are, our whole world environment. I
yeah.
think everybody just needs it.
Mhm. Community is a form of safety. It's a form
Safety.
of,
Yeah.
like, comfort
Mhm.
psychologically, emotionally, everything, and right now, we have a huge, people are talking about the male loneliness epidemic, people are talking about recovering from COVID, people are talking about, you know, just loneliness is a problem,
Yeah.
especially as we have like, people are replacing relationships, bonds, and community with
Mhm.
parasocial relationships online with an influencer they've never met or just utilizing social media to like extremes and instead of going out and actually having relationships with people
Yeah.
not to we're not conflating community with village but like there's no doubt that our lack of engagement in our community is why so many parents feel like they don't have a village.
Mhm.
All that to be said, so one of your missions, undoubtedly, you just creating these events really combats loneliness. So, what are your thoughts on the loneliness epidemic? What are some ways that someone who's feeling really lonely can try to find an event to help build some community? Maybe they just moved to a new area. Maybe they've been working from home since the pandemic and they haven't been out and about. How can they kind of help themselves if they're dealing with some loneliness or isolation?
Yeah, I think, well, to your point, everybody has been dealing with it. And even though
Yeah.
people say, oh, the pandemic is 5 years ago, 5 years, people are just coming out of it.
Yeah.
Um, seriously, just coming out of it. So that pushes more to where these community building community or going to some of these events combat that because and then now they're more in person, they're not online anymore. So I say get out there, look for the women groups. We just attended one with Kelly from Loudmouth. That one. I didn't know anybody there, you didn't know anybody there, and here we are. It's
Yeah.
just just getting out
Yeah,
there.
that's where
You
we
can,
met, right?
that's where we
Yeah.
met, yeah. Um, so I say just get out there. You can pick and choose, look at
Yeah.
the ads or, whatever, however they're promoting it. And if it hits you, why not just register, pop in, stay
Right.
a little bit. If you're not comfortable, you can always leave. But we felt comfortable enough there to stay and enjoy ourselves. The other thing is look for women groups, the
Yeah.
palette, that sort of thing.
Mhm.
The thing with how Raina is building, Raina with Free Tone Digital is building
Mhm.
community around her website business with her love of coffee and,
Yeah.
that sort of thing.
Mhm.
So it's almost like I know it's hard, it's easier said than done, but you have to kind of get out there and look to see. I know as women, we crave community. We crave gathering together. So small
Mhm.
or big, I prefer small. That's just my preference because large events you get lost in the
Yeah.
in the the all of it all. Um, I like the smaller ones because you can connect one on one. I like the smaller ones because it's more personable, um, that sort of thing. But I say for all, just get out there, pick and choose, join a couple of groups. I don't say they all are networking groups, but there are some out there that don't feel like networking groups. They feel
Totally.
like
Totally.
more, let's find a new friend kind of thing.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
Or, like, even if it's, like, totally outside of the business world, like, if you're a parent, you can look for, like, a mom group, you
The
can look
mom
for a
group.
dad group,
Yeah.
you can look for a book club.
Mhm.
You can, even just, like, going to the YMCA or going to your local gym or going somewhere that's community minded, that's, like, open to the public,
Mhm.
right? Like, just to get yourself in there, and I will say I'm transplanted to this area, and my
Mhm.
husband has, a lot of his side of the family's here, so we have family here, but I was building from scratch, like,
Yeah.
trying to build community here, and one of the one of the fast tracks to building community in a new place, I think, is kids, right? Like, my kids go to
Kids.
school,
Mhm.
you meet parents through there, and that's been really, really cool, and I will say I've talked about this a little bit with people, like, my when I first started going out into the world on a like, for a more, like, networking, business-related stuff, like, just meeting people,
Mhm.
it was a little over a year ago. I was terrified. I was so uncomfortable. And now, especially the ones that I've been going to on and off for a year, I walk in and I know everybody and everybody knows me. And it's just
Yeah.
like the best feeling. And you only get that if you put yourself out there and
Yourself
it's
out there.
uncomfortable. So there's a big barrier to tackling loneliness or isolation or building
Mhm.
community. But the only way through it, just like with health, just like with money, or just like any other pillar in life,
Mhm.
you have to face it head on and you just have to put yourself out there. Like, I
Just
have one
have
more
to.
example, but like, I registered in advance, like, I get all the emails for all the events around here. And so I
Mhm.
registered in advance for this big lunch. I don't know, but some sort of big name at some big hotel. And I paid, it was like $30 or something. And I had paid like a month or two prior. The day comes around, it's on my calendar. I'm like, I do not want to go to this. I really
Yeah.
don't want to go to this. But I bullied myself into going, which probably wasn't the right choice. I literally got there late, walked in a few minutes late, ate the lunch, listened to the speaker, and left. I didn't even talk to the people sitting near me because I was late, right? And then I was like, okay, that was not for me. Like, and then I had to have a conversation with myself. Like, I guess it's a little bit more about like networking stuff, but like, is this the place I want to be? Is this a place worthy of my energy? But I think with big things like that, you don't really have your anchor people, or even if you do, they're talking to somebody else. Like, it can be really difficult and it can be energy zapping with like little to no gain.
Yeah. So even with that from a planner side, when you say that, that tells me the planner did not plan for first timers.
Mm.
The planner didn't plan for, newcomers or names that, they didn't recognize or their host didn't recognize, right? For me, I would have brought that up and like, here, check your who registered. Do you know these people? Are there any new people? Even on the registration, am I a first time registrant? Is this my first time attending? Those questions need to be asked so that everybody feels welcomed,
Mhm.
so that the intentionality of newcomers or the intentionality of welcoming your all attendees, but especially your first timers, right?
Right.
And also too, it probably could have been because it is a large event, right? That's what
Yeah.
happens. That's what
Yeah.
happens. It falls flat for some of your attendees attending because your number's so big that
Right.
you're only looking for your regulars or um your connectors or your big name people, but you have to remember your entire list, not just those people, right? So that's why
Mhm.
I like the small ones because you can see everybody coming in. You can greet everybody coming in. You, there's a one-on-one conversation. And I've done that too, Emily. I have gone in and like I really don't want to do this.
Yeah.
And I think networking as a whole needs to kind of get out of that square box as well. Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Mhm. Yeah. It's
Same.
definitely tough.
Mhm.
Do you have
Same.
any
Yeah, I just
suggestions for, like, guests? So I have another example for you. This one went better because I was, like, more into it. I, like, psyched myself up, and I had a few anchor people, and I had a couple, like, targets. I had 2 people I
uh-huh.
needed to find and introduce myself to, And I had and that was actually my targets, and I assumed I would know a few people. I ended up running into a few people I knew, which was really good. Some were unintentional, but then I found my targets, and I told myself going into the event, it was a huge, like, multi-hundred person holiday party for a chamber, for the Chamber of Commerce.
Well,
And I was like, as soon as I find these 2 people that I need to introduce myself to, I can go home. I found them, and then I saw someone I knew who I really wanted to see, so then the list became 3, but I found them all within an hour, had a few snacks, and then told myself I could go home. Do you think that's
mhm.
a good approach, like, for a guest? Or what suggestions do you have for guests who are walking into an event that they've determined that they have to be there for some reason? How can we make it a little bit easier on ourselves as guests if maybe the host didn't, set it up to be optimized or ideal, or just at baseline, you're the new person, or, you're kind of like entering into a new community?
So I do the same. If the guest list is shared, I'm doing the same thing. I'm looking
Good
around,
idea.
I'm looking down the guest list, like, of who I wanna meet or who I want to, you know, talk to while I'm there. And then
Mhm.
if I recognize the name but I don't know them, I'm looking on their LinkedIn. I'm
Good
kind of figuring
idea.
out, yeah, looking, researching, and then that helps me spark a conversation. Like, I'm just not going up, "Can I have your business card?" I'm gonna, like, kind of research this person
For sure.
and see what, yeah, and see what they like, because I just don't want to come up with like a boring conversation because I
Mhm.
despise small talk. I
Yeah.
small talk is the worst. So I always kind of look for, research them to see what they like, dislike, or what they're into, if we have any commonality, and then go from there. But I would do exactly the same thing. Pick my 3, make sure I see them, make sure I speak to them, and then I go home.
Mhm.
There, I don't there's no, I think forcing yourself, more while you're there just depletes the whole energy of the event
I
or why
know.
you want to be there. But your plan of action is spot on.
Oh,
Same here.
good.
Yeah,
Thanks.
same here. Mhm.
Yeah, there's
Yep.
such a fine line, like, nervous system regulation and nervous system work is, like, really top of mind for me. It's a huge, 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 huge priority
Mhm.
right now. And I'm planning on doing either a writing piece or a podcast piece about more of that. But there's such a fine line between, like, okay, I'm an adult and I own a business and I need to go do these things, versus, like,
Mhm.
some I don't wanna, right? Like, I think we have to, like, find that for ourselves. So I love that. I love, like, what I'm hearing is, like, if you're a guest, go in with, like, some sort of strategy.
You have to. You have to.
Mhm.
Strategy is key, I think, for a lot of things,
Yeah.
especially going to those types of events. Yeah.
Mhm. And
Where,
then
um, from my perspective, because I experienced it, I think that's why I plan the way I plan, because
mm,
I put myself in the guest or attendee shoes. I'm like,
yeah.
if I were a guest attending this, what would I want? What would I look for? And then I kind of bring in, like, the host or my clients, must-haves or their vision, and try to mesh the 2. Yeah.
Mhm, mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Mhm.
that makes a lot of sense. So, do you have any other thoughts on, like, how our nervous system is supported through these intentional gathering? Like, we talked about the connection, we talked about the calm.
In
Uh,
the community.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, hmm, I think once people feel, well, where that's connected, by no means am I a medical professional, but I feel
Yeah.
that once people come in and they feel welcomed and then they're calm and comfortable, that's 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 when they're nervous and anxiety or their angst about being someplace kind of calms down. So I
Mhm.
think it comes down to the welcome, which is first and foremost, and the vibe or the energy in the room, and the energy of the host, because your people can feel if the host is anxious or high strung,
Right.
that the your guests are gonna feed off of that. So, again,
Mhm.
that's where I come in to, so the host can be present and be joyful with their guests and attendees. And then
Mhm.
make sure, in the event, you're incorporating comfortability, period.
Mm. Mhm.
Comfortability. If your guests and attendees are comfortable, their nervous system calms down, and then they're ready to enjoy and engage.
Mhm.
And they feel, they feel seen. They feel seen.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then
Mhm.
beautiful things happen when people can calm down and relax and feel seen and feel heard and
And
feel
and yeah, and just be. Yeah,
just be.
just
Just
be.
be.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Mhm. Yep.
So, I guess with that in mind, may I ask you, my husband and I are hosting, the family Christmas party this year, which I'm very excited about, but it's
Good.
Thursday and, it's Thursday, right? And the party's on Saturday, and
Oh, this Saturday.
yeah, yeah, and we have nothing ready. We bought, I would say we bought one of the key ingredients for one of the meals and stuff, and then he's gonna do some prep, I guess a lot of prep tomorrow night. But, this season of life is just very demanding. Like, his job
Mhm.
is very demanding. I'm giving my business and my career a lot of time, and then all the other time
You
goes
have
for our kids, right? Like,
Yeah, I was gonna say you have littles, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
So, and that's how we want it, and we love it, and it's wonderful. And so we really leverage our sense of humor, and we try to make it fun when things get a little bit crazier, right? So it's like, how are we
Mhm.
going to pull this off? His family's very chill. Everybody's very easygoing, but it's really important to us to be good hosts. And like, this is a very long-standing family tradition, and now we're in the next generation is in the hosting. We all take turns and stuff, and it's big. It's wonderful. It's important. What tips do you have for me to be a calm host?
I would say so today's Thursday, it's Saturday. Do a lot of your prep work today and tomorrow if you can.
Yeah. Mhm.
Prep, prep, prep.
Mhm.
Anything, do as much as you can to make sure it's ready to just set out. Make
Yeah.
sure, whatever it is, you can just pull it out on that day. And then give yourself time during that day before it starts for just you. Do
Oh,
whatever
thank
you need to
you.
do. Just make sure you give yourself time for just you. And
Mhm.
then that and then let it flow because you just said the family's relaxed.
Mhm.
Just keep it relaxed. Don't do too much.
Yeah, great one.
Don't do too much because you're under the wire. Don't do too much.
Mhm.
And then just go from there. And then just let it flow. Just let it flow. Just make sure everything is, yeah, prepped and accessible for them to self-serve.
Yeah, totally, totally. Yep,
Yep.
perfect
So,
tips. Okay, thank you. So I'm gonna make sure I get a workout in Saturday morning because that's
yeah.
my me time, right? And that's how
Mhm.
I'm gonna calm myself down, I'm gonna get a little downtime from my brain. Okay, good. Thank you.
Yep.
That's really helpful.
Yes.
Yeah, and keeping it a little bit simpler, right? Like, don't make the most
Simple.
complicated thing. Don't have to
Mhm.
make everybody everything on demand. Let it be out.
Let it be out, prep everything, let it be out, self-serve, even if
Mhm.
it's punch or drinks, make
Right.
sure, the cups, the ladle, all of the punch, whatever it is accessible.
Mhm.
That's that you can spend time with the family. You're not
Yeah.
running around, pulling things here, pulling things there, resetting this. Just that's what I
Mhm.
say.
Okay. Brilliant.
Mhm.
Brilliant.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And don't
We're gonna
forget
have a
this.
good time.
Yeah, and don't forget your me time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do
yeah,
it. I'm
'cause
gonna make sure Stuart does too.
yeah, hosting is a lot. Hosting is a
Mhm.
lot.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah, it
It's
definitely
not
can
just
be.
yes, yeah, some people think it's just, "Oh, I'm just gonna throw a party," and then you're running around, what's the saying? Like a chicken with his head cut off, and that's not what
Right.
you should be doing.
Right, and that doesn't do your guests any service. It's like,
It
why do it
does
if you're gonna be
mm-mm,
miserable or if you're gonna be
right,
uncomfortable? It's like, do it
right.
in a way with a little bit of forethought, some of the strategy,
Mhm.
which, like, that's so helpful, and then you can enjoy yourself too. Like, we if you're a host,
Exactly.
you should be having fun too. You should be enjoying
Mhm,
yourself. What's the point
and
of getting
enjoying your
together?
guests if you're gonna be just crazy. Yeah,
Right, right,
yeah. Mhm.
totally. Okay, brilliant. That's very helpful and tactical. I'm gonna apply it. I'm gonna
Good.
definitely apply that. Okay, tell us, like, you don't have to like get overly specific, but however much you're able to share, like, tell us about one of your favorite events that you've hosted and like what made it so.
So, I wanna say hmm, it's probably, like, my immediate family.
Mm,
And I love the holidays. Like, I full blown on decorate inside and out. Emily, like I
Can
told you,
you
my
come
favorite
decorate my house, please? We have the Christmas tree, and that's about it.
my yeah, like my favorite person is Martha Stewart. So yeah,
Mm,
yeah. So Inside It Out is decorated, and I love hosting when, my immediate family comes over for like I set my table, they come over, we have a good time, do the gifts and the food and the energy. But again, I prep. I make sure everything's self-serving, make sure everybody's comfortable, don't wear shoes in a house. I have socks, or some slippers, um, all of that stuff. They leave with their little, gift bags or and all of that good stuff. So I have to say it's holiday time. This holiday time is going to be a little bit different with the passing of, like both parents. So it's going to be me and my
right.
sisters start setting a new tradition. So but
Mhm.
yeah, it's
And your
definitely
kids will
Christmas
come home,
time.
right?
My kids are home. Yep,
Good,
kids are
good,
home. Yep, we picked up the last one last week from college, so the kids are home.
nice,
Yep,
good. Oh, that's
yeah,
so
it's
special.
mhm, holiday time. Yeah, Christmas is the best, I think, because it's more it's it's you put more thought into what you're doing. So again, that word, I know I use it a lot, but it's more intentional. Your
Mhm.
gifts are more intentional, your gathering is more intentional, who you talk to around this time is more intentional. So,
Yeah,
it's all
yeah.
the energy, all of the people say the woo-woo, but it is what that is.
Mhm.
So, mhm,
Absolutely. I mean, the
mhm,
happiest people I know and, like, the most stable people I know talk about energy in, like, a very respectful way, like, they really
mhm.
regard it, like, paying attention to their environment, paying attention to what they
Yes,
consume, like
who you're around, all of that stuff, yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Mhm,
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, it's holiday
yeah,
that's nice that because I think for a lot of moms, and you're the eldest daughter,
mhm,
so, I think for a lot of women, the holiday time is really stressful. So I love to hear, even though there's a lot on your shoulders, you're still like you're using strategy and intentionality to also have a great time because it's
yeah,
very special to you as well. So not only
mhm,
do you do that, but it's your favorite time of year, even carrying everything you're carrying, which is amazing.
yeah, yep, yeah, yeah, and also too, I think for other moms or, other women, be choosy on what you go to this time of year. You don't have to attend everything,
Oh
and
my
you
god, yeah.
shouldn't. You shouldn't attend
Mhm.
everything. Yeah,
Mhm.
just
Yeah,
pick and choose what you want to
yeah.
attend.
We are not doing, like, Elf on the Shelf, we're not doing, like,
That's so
Advent
stressful.
stuff, we're not doing, all the Santa
Mm-mm,
visits, like, it's
mm-mm,
just yeah, we're just and my kids don't care, like,
no,
somebody asked me at, like, an event last week, like, "Oh, are the kids really excited about the holidays?" And it kinda caught me off guard because I was like, "Yes and no," like, every day's a holiday for these kids, they just wanna, like, have time with us, play,
yeah.
uh, and just, like, their life is just really nice, and so, like, they've really reinforced for me that, like, things can be simpler, and that's actually where the best of it lies.
And those are the best memories too. The
Yeah.
best memories. Yep,
Mhm.
yep.
Yeah.
I 100% agree. It doesn't have to be complicated, and it shouldn't
Yeah.
be.
Yeah, intentionality and simplicity are
Mhm,
not they're not opposed, but they're not the same thing. Oh, well, they're more similar than they are different.
mhm.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
when you're
yeah.
being really intentional, you're not gonna muddy it up and make it
No, and
complicated.
right.
Yeah.
You set your what's the intent behind all of this stuff, and then yes, exactly.
Mhm. Mhm.
Mhm.
Amazing, that's so cool. Do you have
Yeah.
any favorite events that you've attended that, like, the host, did a really, like, intentional job or
Um, that's hard to ask a planner because usually
Yeah.
I have a habit of attending events and then I'm like, "Oh, that registration line is too long. Oh,
Right, right.
Or,
Mhm.
your servers aren't clearing in a timely manner, like, all of this stuff is on the table. I
Yeah,
just yeah,
yeah.
I notice the simple things. Um,
Right.
I have to say probably, no, there was there was one that I had a really good time. Of course, I saw some things, but the planner did do a good job because I did feel, you know, seen, and I felt the energy. And after leaving the event, my friend and I, we talked about it for at least a couple of weeks. So um, it was more or less for like women, moms, and it wasn't too networky, but it was more like a girlfriend's kind of vibe. So it wasn't
Mhm.
stuffy, although, it was business casual. It wasn't too stuffy. It was really relaxed. But there's, of course, those few things, she definitely could have used a coordinator so that she
Mm.
can be more into, the event flow and, guiding her attendees and that sort of thing. But other than that, for me, it's hard to attend and not see something.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. This is saying my internet is
Mhm.
weird. Am I coming through
Yep.
okay?
Yep,
Thank
you're fine, you're fine. Yep.
Um, yeah, I have a couple thoughts on that. I felt the same way. So I used to work like in college, and then for like a year after college I worked at this like upscale resort in food service, right? Like I was a waitress. And I was a server, like that was my summer job in college. That was my part-time job in college. And so like and I'm a pretty good cook and my husband's a really good cook. And so it's like when I go out to restaurants, I can't even have fun because I'm like, you almost like know too much, right? Like you're paying attention.
Yeah.
It has been a very long time since I worked in that world, and I only recently, like, stopped thinking about it, right? Like, "Oh,
Mm,
they don't have enough servers on tonight," or like, "Wow, there's only 1 bartender," or like, "This food is not," or like, it's just like, you can't enjoy it as much when you've been so deep into
behind
it
the scenes,
baseball,
yeah.
so I know what you mean, yeah. Yeah, I'm getting
Yep.
past it, though.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's really cool.
But,
That's
mhm.
awesome. Um, do you have any other, like, tips or like what are your so tell us a little bit more about who your ideal clients are, and then I'll make sure everybody knows where to find you. Like, do you love to partner with like do you do tiny elopement, like wedding type stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, so my ideal client is, those hosts who, again, want to be present at their
Mhm.
event, those hosts who want to enjoy their event. And then also my ideal client is maybe you have your vision and maybe you need to just talk it through with somebody, or you need somebody to help you organize it and give you a full out plan, and you like to execute on your own. That's good too, and that's okay. Um the other part of my ideal client is, okay, here's my vision, here's what I want. Can you take it and run with it?
Mhm.
So, yeah, so it's, the small scale, the intimate gatherings, the social milestone events, people, your 30s, your 40s, or anniversaries.
Mm.
The micro events, right? And I love the micro weddings and elopements.
Yeah.
Um, they're so personable. They're about the couple. They're about your the vows and the ceremony. And granted, those that guest list is no more than like 60 people, but they're they're like dinners, right? They're
Mhm.
like in elevated dinners.
Yeah.
So the couple has more time to spend with their guests. And of course, if you keep your guest list low, your budget stays, friendly.
Right, right. Yeah. Oh
You're
my
not,
god, yeah,
you're not,
weddings are totally out of control.
hmm you're not feeding people that you haven't talked to in like 3 years. You know what I mean?
Right,
So,
right.
that's my ideal client. Yep. And I can be reached at hostinggather.events. That's the website, on LinkedIn and Instagram, Host and Gather.
Okay, perfect. I'll link it all in the show notes when this goes out.
Mhm.
And then I have one concluding question I like to ask all my guests, but before that, is there anything else you'd like to share about intentional gathering or any other tips or anything?
No, well, yes. Just when you're when hosts are planning, um, just think about yourself, how you
Mhm.
wanna feel, and then also think about how you want your guests to feel when you're hosting your gatherings or your events. So
Yeah.
be intentional be intentional throughout your planning process. And when you're what you're envisioning, yeah, think about you know, think about those 2 things, how you wanna feel and how you want your guests to feel.
Mhm. I love it.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah,
So my concluding question is, what do you want to be doing? So obviously you know my mission and all this, so this question makes sense. But
yeah,
what
yeah.
do you want to be doing when you're 80 years old?
80 years old. I think I wanna be, that old, cartoon from way back when, Where's Carmen San Diego? That's me. I'm going to be traveling, and
Yeah,
it's gonna
girl.
be, "Yeah, where's Joaquina? Where is she at this week?"
Yeah.
That's what I wanna be doing when I'm 80.
Is hubby
Yep.
going with
Oh.
you? Are the kids going with you? Or you're like off on your own?
Probably a little bit of both.
Good. I like it.
Yeah, a little bit of both. Some solo trips, some with the hubby, some with the kids. But yes,
Yeah.
I'm going to be, yeah, where's Joaquina at this week or this month? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good for you. I love that.
Yeah. Mhm.
Awesome.
So,
Well,
thank
thank
you.
you so much. Thanks for taking the time. This was a lot of fun. And I will make sure everybody knows where to find you. And then next week we don't have an episode, and then we'll resume on New Year's Day. Me and the family are going to talk about our year, and then we're going to try tinned fish.
Oh,
Which
cool.
have you had tinned fish?
I have not. I have not. I heard of it,
It
but I haven't
it's
had
like
it.
checks all the boxes for being a great choice. But we're gonna see. We're gonna see how it
Okay.
goes. Well, thank you again, Wakina, and
Thank
thank you
you.
everybody, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
All right. Take
Alrighty,
care, Emily.
bye.
Bye.